So I checked the tracker and I couldn't even believe what I saw. This guest wasn't in Vegas. He was almost 20 hours away in the state of Washington at the Canadian border, like literally right next to the Canadian border within feet. I just called the local police for that area. They said that my guest drove the car through someone's yard that actually connects to the border, got out of the car, and then ran across the border. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Alex Profits, and on this channel, I give you guys an in-depth look into my life as a rental car fleet owner. So if you guys missed the last video, I went in depth on exactly how insurance works on Turo, what type you need, as well as a few recommendations. So definitely make sure to check that out if you're just starting out or interested in starting on Turo. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys a crazy story on how a Turo guest stole my vehicle and exactly how I got it back. So the vehicle that was stolen was a 2016 GMC Yukon. SUVs, Tahoes, Suburbans, Escalades are really all some of my top performers. So as you can imagine, I wasn't thinking anything out of the ordinary when this trip got booked. The guest picked up the car on time, no issues at all, contactless pickup and drop off, upload the photos, everything confirmed, they get the key, everything's good. I think they picked up on a Monday and we're going to return on that Thursday, so a 3-day trip. He said they were going to Vegas for a few nights, and with Vegas only being a few hours away from San Diego, everything checked out. Everything is good, no issues. Then Thursday rolls around and he sends a message asking if he can extend until Sunday morning. I didn't have any trips currently scheduled for that vehicle and those dates, so I accepted and let him extend until Sunday. I did, however, have a month-long trip starting that next day, Monday morning, so he for sure couldn't extend again after that. There's no way I'm going to risk that 1 month trip. So from Thursday to Saturday midday, no issues at all. I sent him a message simply just confirming the drop-off location and the time, just a general message that I'm gonna send to every single guest just to make sure we're on the same page, everybody's on time to arrive, all of those things, so there's no blind sides essentially last minute. He confirms, says it's good, no problem, he'll be there on time. And I'm pretty sure this was like 11 a.m. at this time when I sent him that message, and then he confirmed. Anyway, this is where it starts to take a turn. So at about midnight, technically Sunday morning now at this point, but late Saturday night, he sends this message and says, "Car broke down, can you send your number?" So if you guys didn't know, all guests have the host direct number and all hosts have the guest direct number in case instances like this specifically come up, and communication through the Turo app is not going to be the fastest route. This is something that's urgent. So of course he already has my number, I already have his number, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's his first Turo trip, maybe he doesn't know he already has it. So I give him a call, no answer, straight to voicemail. Called him again, no answer, straight to voicemail. So I go back to the Turo messages asking him to send a picture and describe what the issue is. He responds with a message that I could barely even read, so I'll let you guys decipher that. What I am able to take away from this conversation or the message that he sent was that he supposedly tried to contact Turo and Turo told him to just leave the vehicle there. At this point, I thought there could have actually been a problem, but if he actually called Turo, they would be blowing me up and at the very least have left many voicemails at this point trying to get in contact with me. And there was no communication from Turo, no missed calls, no messages, no emails, no voicemails, absolutely nothing. So I checked the tracker and I couldn't even believe what I saw. This guest wasn't in Vegas. He was almost 20 hours away in the state of Washington at the Canadian border, like literally right next to the Canadian border within feet. So I asked him where the car was. He sent me an address that was about like a mile and a half away from where the tracker said the vehicle was. My tracker showed that the vehicle was literally in somebody's backyard. That person's backyard backs up to the Canadian border. So literally, like I said, inches, feet away from the Canadian border. That's where the tracker said the car was. He showed me an address that was like 1 or 2 miles away from the border, but still really close. I was on the phone with Turo for another hour or so trying to figure things out, and at the same time kind of going back and forth with the guest. Turo confirmed that the guest did not reach out to them at all and that it was against their terms to just abandon the vehicle. The next step was just trying to find a tow ASAP so I could get it out of there and back to me. Of course, with the distance involved and the time of night, no one was taking the tow, so I just went to to sleep. The next morning though, I checked the tracker and it was in a different location. This time it was at an impound. At that point, I just called the local police for that area and they had some great info. They said that my guest drove the car through someone's yard that actually connects to the border, got out of the car and then ran across the border. They also said that the homeowner saw all of this happen. He then reported it to the cops and then that's how it got impounded. The cops said that this sort of thing in the area is pretty common. Renting a car, abandoning it, and then running across the border. I guess that's something that's common in that area. Long story short, after this, it was pretty much just a back and forth with Turo, obviously in a timely manner, and making sure that I was gonna get paid extra and reimbursed for anything that I had to pay for. If your car gets impounded, you really only have a set amount of time to go and retrieve the vehicle. Otherwise, if you don't, then that vehicle then becomes the property of that tow company or that impound lot. So because of this, I did pay the impound fees out of pocket, but I was later reimbursed by Turo. I think it came out to around $700 that I paid in impound fees. Finally, 2 days after the incident, Turo had a tow lined up and it was on its way back to San Diego. And yes, I did miss that month-long trip with that vehicle because of all this, but hey, that's a part of the game. Nothing that I could have really done. All right, so to break all this down, Turo covered the tow. They charged the guest for an improper return. I charged for a cleaning fee, 2 extra days, as well as getting reimbursed fully for the tow. So I guess you could say just 4 things. Excluding the impound, I got paid out an extra $950 because of all this with the impound. Add that $700 and that was the total. And as you can see, this is how the vehicle was returned when I finally got it off the tow truck. It looked like they were just living in the vehicle. So that's the story. That's my story of what happened when one of my vehicles got stolen on Turo. I got extremely lucky that I was able to get the car back and returned to me with no physical damage. That's not the case, unfortunately, for some other hosts out there. There's plenty of stories where people just simply never got their car back. It was totaled or stolen for good. If that were to happen, then we just get paid out from Turo the fair market value of that vehicle. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos, more content just like this. And if you have any horror stories hosting on Turo, drop them down below in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.